Hey everybody, how are you? I'm so glad that we get to make music here together, even if we are at home. You might even be in your pajamas. That's okay. But you know what? Even if we don't have the music room and all of the instruments that are in the music room, that's okay. We can still make music, even online. What? No, really, we can. What was our first instrument after all? The flute? No. The saxophone? No. The trombone? No. Our bodies and our voices were the very first instruments ever that people used. We have our hands. Do, mi, so, mi, do. We can use our hands and our bodies to make music. We can use our voices to make music. So we can totally do this music online thing at home. We could totally do this. How fun is this? Now, we can use our bodies, we can use our voices, but we can also use things found around the house. I bet you have some things that you could use around the house in order to play music. Well, I do, and I had an idea. How about we use, wait, what? Spoons? Oh, absolutely. Spoons are used in folk music, and we can make music with other things around the house too. But today, let's work on spoons. Let's watch the video, and I will follow along with the spoons with you because I'm not a spoon player either. But this is fun, and we can make music. All right, here we go.
Let's start with the spoons. Let's start with the kind of spoon you need. Really, a heavier spoon is the best, and your best bet is to get a spoon that gets wider at the bottom so you can get a good grip on it. Let me get another pair so you can see what they look like. This one has the same kind of bulbous end. That'll allow you to get a good grip on them. They don't have to be a soup spoon like this, but they always have a nice warm sound. Don't go for those silver spoons either, because not only do they not sound very good, they're too high-pitched and ringy, but they dent really easily. This is what you don't want, a spoon that gets smaller at the end. You really want them to get wider. Here's a very nice set of spoons, just an old piece of army surplus kind of spoons. Get wider down here at the bottom. Now, go find those spoons, come back, and I want to show you how to do the rhythm.
Remember, you can pause this video at any time and come right back to it. So go find your spoons. I'll wait.
I want to show you how to do this with your hands before you actually hold the spoons, because you have to learn how to hold the spoons, but you can learn the rhythm right now. Put one hand a little ways above your leg. This is your left hand if you're right-handed. This hand isn't going to move. It's just going to sit there. Put your right hand in between. It hits down on your leg and up on your hand. Down on your leg and up on your hand. So you're getting a little rhythm right there. You hear a slap when you go down, slap when you go up. If I speed that up, try that about like that with me. That sounds good. Now, try playing just a little bit of a tune while I play the banjo and you play the rhythm. We'll get a rhythm about like that. Dum, 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 dum. Here we go. It's going to sound like this. Stay with me with your hands. Here we go. Okay, that's the rhythm we're going to make. Now let's look and see how you hold the spoons, because that's the key part, and that'll take a little practice. Now remember, all these are folk rhythms. They were made by your forefathers and your foremothers who didn't have a whole lot of time to sit around and practice. They just did this a little bit each day and learned it over a period of time, and that's the way I want you to do it too. Okay, we're going to take the first spoon, and we're going to put it over that middle knuckle so that it goes in your hand like this.
He's using his
Your
right
index
hand.
finger wraps around and holds the back end of that spoon. You see, that's why I want them to be wider like that. It's going across the middle knuckle, right there. Just sitting right in that little space, held in place very lightly with that index finger. Now your thumb is going to go down on top of it to make it have a good firm grip. That's the way you hold the first spoon. Now, I want you to hold them in the back with that finger that's wrapped around. I want you to grab that spoon in the back with your index finger and really kind of squeeze on it. Now you're going to take the second spoon. You're going to take the second spoon and put it between your first finger and your middle finger. And again, that middle finger is going to wrap around and grab the edge of that second spoon. Now you've got one finger in between, which is your index finger. The middle finger is holding the second spoon in place, and your thumb is on top. Okay? Now, don't let go of those spoons. Keep holding them tightly. Basically, you're making a fist around those spoons and tap down on your leg. You get a little sound? Did it work? If you didn't get a sound, here's what's wrong. Your spoons are touching on the way down. You don't have any space between them, so rock them back just a little bit in your hand and hit down again. See, if they're touching, they won't make any sound, of course. So you get a click. Now, put your hand up above, hit down on your leg, and up on your hand. You don't have to hit hard, just a light tap. Okay, here's what 90% of you did, I'm sure, is you let go back here with your index and your middle finger. So your spoons begin to look like this. And they wouldn't stay over the top of each other. Well, you just got to make that fist around those spoons again. It's just natural. Everybody seems to let go of those fingers right back there in the back when they start playing. You're making a firm grip around those spoons, and that's what takes a little practice. It takes practice, no big deal. Let's do it again. Okay? That's just kind of a little clicking sound back and forth. Now notice that we can hit on the tips of the spoons, this tip, that tip, on my hand and on my leg. Try hitting on your leg first, then on your hand. Or we can hit on the cups of the spoons. That's the cup right there and right here. You could hit down on your leg, and then on the on the bulbous part of your hand right there, it can kind of catch the cup of the spoon. Notice that it has a different tone than if I hit on the tips. See how high pitched that is? Back to the cups. You try that. That's a little bit of different tone color. Now, not only can you get different tones with that, but you can use that to accent the spoons. Okay, listen to this. If I just play, that's pretty boring, isn't it? Not very musical, and somebody playing along with it wouldn't have much fun. I want you to accent the 2 and the 4 beat. Now, it's going to sound like this. Let me count that for you. We're going to start by hitting down on our leg. That's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now this isn't really any news to you because just about every kind of music you listen to, whether it's rock and roll or jazz, or almost every kind of music we listen to in Western culture accents the 2 and the 4. Now you can make that accent by hitting just a little bit harder, or by hitting on the cups of the spoons. That'll give it a warmer sound. You don't even have to hit harder. Listen, I'm not hitting any harder.
The difference in the sound.
Just hitting from the tips to the cups on the 2 and the 4. Listen, 1, 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and 2 and 3, 4. That's the basic rhythm, and that's what we're looking to get. Once we get that, everything else is gravy. Now, I want to just play a little piece for you, have you accent the 2 and the 4 so you can see what it feels like. Let me play that on the harp, and you play right along with me. We'll get our rhythm going first. We're accenting the 2 and the 4. It's that simple, and it really sounds musical. It's a very nice musical piece. Now, I want to show you how to do the roll. That's the basic rhythm we just did. Now let me show you a roll. It sounds like this. All I'm doing is stretching my fingers out on my left hand as wide apart as I can get them. Now, I'm making them stiff. I want them equidistant apart. Now, I like this or like this. I just want them equidistant apart. And I want them stiff. Now I'm going to hold the spoons like I have been holding them in my hand and drag the spoons across my outstretched fingers, letting them walk down those fingers as though they were steps of a ladder and letting the last beat hit on my leg. Try to do it real rhythmically like that, slow.
This is like a
Now you need to turn your hand
ticka,
away
ticka,
from you
tock.
just a little bit. It can't be like this, obviously, or it's not going to work. So just turn your hand away from you. Drag the spoons across it. Let it bounce down each finger. Now, if it's not working for you, here's what's happening. Your spoons are touching on the way down. They're touching right together. And you're holding them in a way that they can't bounce because they have no space between them. So rock them back in the back a little bit. Get another grip on them. Make sure you've got that little space between your spoons and try it again. There you go. Okay? I want you to go back and check your position. Make sure you're holding them right. Remember, it's across that middle knuckle, and they're held tightly in the back. And they're not too far forward, otherwise you can't really hold on to them well. And they're not too far back in your hands, otherwise they don't have any momentum to make a clicking sound. Just find a comfortable place, maybe about an inch or two from the back of the spoons. You got to try it with each pair of spoons. Each one will be different. There's the roll. Now, let's think about this roll as though it were a military roll. You've heard.
All right, I think that's enough for today, but I'm sure you guys did great. It was so much fun playing spoons with you today. Gosh, who knew you could make music with spoons, right? So much fun. I bet you have other things in your house that you can make music with, and I'm going to send you a quick little check-in. I'm going to call it a quiz, but it's not really a quiz. It's just a quick little thing just to check and see if you had success today, if you didn't have success today, and maybe some other things that you picked up in the video too. So that is our online music lesson for today and this week. I will be sending you more later on this week, and we'll stay in touch, and I will see you again soon. Bye, guys.